So welcome to this video. My name is Alex, and I firmly believe, in fact I know for a fact, that it is possible for you to live free from the influence of fear. And once you understand the process of fear, where it begins and what happens in your body and in your heart and in your emotions as a consequence of that initial trigger, and how you are in control of the fear experience, that you don't have to be a victim to this fearful experience. You are in control of it. You decide whether you feel afraid or not. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how that happens so you can be the master of fear. Fear is in fact this tiny little thing that convinces us that we are threatened. And so because it convinces us, we cower, we shrink. Once we convince that there is something threatening, we shrink because we think that thing is more powerful than us. So we shrink. But the truth is, we are infinitely more powerful, infinitely bigger, infinitely more untouchable than that fear. The fear is nothing, absolutely nothing. So I'm going to explain to you exactly what fear is. So let's start with the basics. You have a thought in your mind. All fear starts here. Of course, fear is stored as trauma, but all fear starts here. So a thought of something you don't want to happen, essentially. To simplify it, it's a thought of something you don't want to happen, you really don't want to happen, something you're afraid of, something you don't like. And as soon as you have that thought, your body reacts to that thought. How does your body react? It tenses up. The moment you pay attention to that thought of something you don't want to happen, then your body responds by going into a state of resistance. That's what tension is. Tension is resistance, and resistance is self-protection. So, if you're afraid, if you feel afraid, it's because there is tension in your body. It is impossible, and I mean literally impossible, to be afraid, to feel afraid, while you are in a state of relaxation. Because fear is tension. When fear is in the body, it's in the body as tension. It can't be in the body as anything else. It starts with a thought, and then the body reacts with tension. The heart clenches, the heart tenses up because it doesn't want to feel something it doesn't like, it doesn't want to experience something. The body tenses up. It's all self-protection. It's almost like we're bracing ourselves against this threat, this thing we don't want. This often imaginary scenario in the future of something we don't want to happen. It's usually what threat is. Fear is usually in the future. So, we have a thought, our body responds by tensing up, always. If you feel afraid, it's because there's tension in your body, in your heart, in your muscles. Now, basically that's it. And we hold on to patterns of fear, and the presence of fear in our muscles and our body can be there for so long that it gets stored there, and that's when it can turn to disease. Because when part of your body is held in tension for a long time, perhaps even decades, if we're deeply afraid of something, deeply afraid of being abandoned, or deeply afraid of being hurt by somebody, or these deep fears we carry, these primal fears. If we carry those fears for long enough, then they become set in our body, and there's a reduction of circulation and oxygen to that part of the body because it's being held tense. When something's held tense, things can't flow in that part of the body. This isn't kind of woo-woo new age science. This is how the body works. If you hold something tense, the flow is reduced. Blood flow, oxygen flow, energy flow. If you hold it tense, the flow is reduced. When you relax, there is space and the flow increases, the blood flow increases, and thus the oxygen flow. Anyway, that's not really important to understand. What's important to understand is that fear is tension. So if you're feeling afraid, the moment you notice you're feeling afraid, most people go into their thoughts and they try and remedy the situation by thinking a positive thought. It's completely the wrong thing to do. You know, oh no, I'm thinking of something I don't want. Think of something happy, think of something nice. Try not to think of that terrifying thing that I really don't want to happen. And you're dealing with it on the wrong level. Because we are material beings as well as spiritual. And we have got this body. And the body is where fear takes root. Fear doesn't take root in our mind. The fearful thoughts are in our mind, but it takes root in our heart. And it keeps our heart in a state of anxiety and tension. So when we notice the fear in our body, then if you relax your body, the fear will disappear. I guarantee you, when you relax your body, when you make an effort to relax your body, or maybe effort isn't the right word, when you make a conscious decision, when you consciously bring relaxation into your body, and relax your muscles, then fear can only disappear. There's nothing else that can happen. Fear and relaxation cannot coexist. Fear needs tension to be present in you. So when you are in a relaxed state, you cannot be afraid. So the first thing to do when you notice you're afraid, and I know what fear is like, you know, I've always been in my younger years a very fearful person, you know, and I've had to learn about fear and have to realize that fear really has no threat. The threat is in here. The threat is this idea of threat. It's an idea of threat. And we could go into where fear comes from. That's another complicated and kind of philosophical discussion. But what I'm more interested in is the practicality, so that when you feel afraid, you know what to do. Don't go into your head. Don't try and think it out. Don't try and think your way out of it. When you feel afraid, become aware of your body. Don't panic and try and change anything. Just notice, oh, my body feels tense. My body feels really ill at ease. My body feels... Notice the feeling in your body when you feel afraid. And then notice the tension is there. And then relax your body. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe deeply. Get more oxygen into your body, because oxygen brings cleansing. Oxygen brings more light and more space into your body. And as you breathe out, you release the tension. So just allow the tension to dissolve as you breathe and relax your body. One of the most important skills in this life is the ability to relax. Perhaps it's the most important skill in life, in our modern world, is the ability to relax when you want to be able to relax your body without needing a substance to put in your body, without needing anything, without needing happy thoughts, but just to come to your body, come back to your body, and let the tension, let the muscles relax. Just choose to relax the muscles. That is the most important skill in life. Because when your body is relaxed, then you are in a place where you feel safe. You feel safe, you feel at ease. There is no threat. Because being in a state of relaxation, relaxing the body, is the ultimate statement of safety. It's the ultimate statement you can make with your entire being, that you are safe, you're not threatened. Well, we look at the media, and the media is giving us a million reasons why we are threatened and why we should be anxious, why we should be afraid of the future. But all we have to do is ignore that and affirm our safety in this moment by relaxing. That's how you choose safety. That's how you are safe. That's how you feel safe, and that's how you are safe. Because when you feel safe, you are safe. Because you are protected by this, how could you say, life, this kind of spiritual force. You have this light inside of you, and when you relax, that light radiates out. When you contract in fear, that light shrinks, and then all the things which like predators, all the predators in this world, spiritual predators as well, people might call them demons or whatever, all the spiritual predators can come closer to you because you're light. The spiritual predators like the darkness, they like the shadows. So when your light is dimmed and you're feeling weak, then that's where they come closer to you. That's when the threat comes to you in life, when you are feeling weak and in the dark. That's when you're vulnerable. But when you're when your light is shining brightly and you feel strong, then you are spiritually protected. Your light, the light that's coming from within you, spiritually protects you against all darkness on the spiritual and on the material level. Of course, we have to stay awake and stay alert and be aware of our surroundings and be aware if we're doing something dangerous or stupid or foolish. You have to be self-aware, not do silly things. But it's your light that protects you from the threat, from all the spiritual threats that there are and other threats. It's the light, this sense of security and strength that comes from that light. And so when you are in a relaxed state, your light grows. And so you're safe when you choose to feel safe. That's when you are safe, when you choose to feel safe. How do you choose to feel safe? You relax, you let go of the tension. It's the only way. As long as there is tension in your body, you will not feel safe. You'll feel ill at ease. You'll feel like there's something not quite right. There's something I should be worried about. There's something that could go wrong here. That's what happens when we're in a state of tension. It's disharmony. Tension is disharmony. When we relax, we feel a state of harmony. We feel, we reconnect to the universal force of goodness, which some people call God, which I call God. Call it whatever you want. But this universal force of goodness, which is love, then we sink back into that. Our heart relaxes from the fear. We let go of the tension in our heart. We allow our heart to relax. And it's saturated. The moment it relaxes, the moment the barriers are dropped down and we relax our heart, the love seeps back in. It seeps back in. Think of a sponge. Okay, you get a sponge and you squeeze it tight and you squeeze all the water out of it and you hold it squeezed, right? So you hold that sponge like a washing up sponge in your hand, you hold it squeezed, and then you put that sponge under the water, but you keep your hand tightly squeezing it. How much water is that sponge going to soak up? How much water can get into that sponge while you're squeezing it tight? None. But take that sponge and let go. Let the sponge open and fill out, and then put that sponge in the water, and the water flows back into it, permeates it, soaks into it. And your heart is the same. When you relax your heart, all that is meant to be in your heart, all that your heart is designed for, spiritual water, the life-giving water, flows back into your heart. It soaks it up. And that's what your heart is designed for. It's designed to be permeated with this life-giving water, love, truth, God. But we're holding it tight. We're holding our heart tight all the time because we're subtly in a state of fear, anxious. We're not trusting. So you could say the antidote to a fearful heart is a trusting heart. Stop worrying, because we trust our worries. We believe our worries. We think all these negative things, all these things about bad things happening and things could go wrong. We think them all and we believe them. We believe that voice in our mind. We trust that voice. But what we need to do instead is trust that we are safe. Trust that you are safe and protected. Because there's another voice. There's a voice in here and there's a voice in here. And the voice in your heart says, it's safe to let go. It's safe to relax. You are provided for. You are protected. No harm can come to you. Just relax. Just be at ease. Be at peace. Don't worry. Relax. Everything will be okay if you just relax your heart. And that's the truth. That voice speaks the truth, I promise you. Because I know that voice very well, and maybe you're familiar with it too. It's the voice of truth. And we have to listen to that voice. Instead of this voice, we're all listening to the voice of fear and responding to it and tensing up and protecting ourselves and tightening up our hearts because we're listening to the wrong voice. We're believing the wrong voice, believing in the voice of threat. We need to trust the voice of love, which will protect us, which will keep us in the light if we just relax our heart and trust that we are safe, trust that love is real, and trust that we are protected. So you have to do this. We have to trust, because some part of us doesn't want to let go. Some part of us wants to keep in control, stay in control, hold on tightly and be the master of our own destiny, be the controller of our destiny, because we think, well, if I'm not in control, all these bad things are bound to happen, my life's going to fall apart. So we don't trust that things will be okay if we let go of control. And that's essentially, while we're in control, then love is not in control. Because we're in control because we're afraid of what will happen if we're not. So fear is running our lives. While you maintain control over your life, then you're being essentially run by fear. Fear is behind it, it's motivating you. Because you're afraid of letting go and trusting life to work for you. Trusting life to guide you, look after you, provide for you, steer you in the right direction, and protect you. We all need protection. We all need to feel safe. It is the most primal, fundamental need of any living creature, is the need to feel safe. Because if we don't feel safe, then we can't do anything properly. We're a dysfunctional creature when we don't feel safe, because it's the foundation. Safety is the foundation. We need to feel safe first, and then we can do other things. We can get on with enjoying life, being creative, helping other people. But if we feel threatened, then that will be the fundamental thing we need to address. We'll feel like, I have to take care of my own safety first, because I can't do anything if I'm in danger. I can't help anybody. I can't do anything. I can't enjoy anything if I'm threatened. I must address the threat first. That's how it works subconsciously. So we have to address the fundamentals of our being, which is the need for safety. And guess who's in control of your need for safety? You are. You are the one who decides whether you let yourself feel safe, or whether you listen to that voice that persuades you you are threatened. You choose. You listen to that voice, or you trust in your heart. You trust that you are safe. You trust that no harm will come to you when you relax and you let go of control. You have to let go of the control. Because then you'll see, once you take your hands off the reins, then you'll see that something else has hold of the reins. Something else is guiding you. Something else is making things happen. Something else is orchestrating your life and giving you the things you need. But you won't see that. As long as you're holding the reins, you won't see that something else is capable of doing that. You have to let go first. And that's the leap of faith. Letting go of control. That's the leap of faith. But do it. Let go of control as much as possible. Take your hands off the steering wheel and trust. Have courage. Let go and trust that it is safe to do so. Relax your heart. It's the most powerful thing we can do, is to relax our heart, because that's where all the fear has taken root, in our heart. And from there, it spreads. It spreads into our limbs. It spreads into every part of our body. It even spreads into the cells of our body. There's fear in our heart. That disharmony that comes from fear and tension goes into the cells. It's a message to all the cells that there is threat. And that is not good. You don't need me to tell you that that is not a good way of living, and not a good state of being for you to be in. Very detrimental, very, very damaging to you. So if we allow relaxation to return to our heart, replace the tension in our heart, breathe deeply, and actually choose or desire for our heart to relax, want our heart to relax. You can put your hand on your heart and just ask for your heart to be relaxed. Ask for your heart to relax. And breathe and let your heart relax. Let the tension dissolve. And you'll notice all the thoughts saying, yeah, that's stupid. You should be afraid. It's stupid to relax because all these things are going to happen. It's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Your mind doesn't want you going back to where you belong. Your mind wants to stop you reaching the promised land. And the promised land is in here. The promised land is the reality which your heart has to give you. The reality which awaits you in your heart is the promised land. And from that, when you return to that place, a place of trust, a place of peace, a place of safety, when you return to that place, everything looks different. The world looks different. You have true perspective on life, and you realize why you are here and what you can do, how you can help people. And you'll see really what's going on. You'll see what God is doing in the world. You'll see God at work from the perspective of a relaxed and trusting heart. Now, of course, there are many ways you can help yourself. I personally believe that music is the most wonderful way. Beautiful music, soothing music. Music is a language which communicates directly with our heart. So that's why it's very important to listen to music which is really beautiful, which really inspires us. Inspiring music. It's medicine for your heart. So we should find all the music that really inspires us, that makes us relax, it makes us feel good, makes us feel peaceful, and listen to it as often as possible. In the car, at home, wherever you are, walking, listen to really beautiful music. It'll help your heart relax, it'll help your heart connect with the light, the peace, the goodness. That's my favorite tool. Music is my favorite ally to help me stay connected to the divine truth. It's a medicine. Music is a medicine. So, and I've made many videos with music, beautiful music, which I recommend you look at. I'll put a link in the description. I've also got 2 radio stations. One's called ambientradio.org, full of really beautiful music. I've been very fussy with the musical selection on that radio station, and it's very beautiful music, really intelligent and beautiful. And they've got another radio station called Old School Radio, which is uplifting dance music. If you want to celebrate and feel good and feel uplifted and feel happy, lots of old school dance music on that station. And also I've composed music for the past 25 years. And all that's for free on my website. I'll put the links in the description, because music is one of God's greatest gifts to us, to help us remember His kingdom of light and peace. So, I hope that I've pretty much covered everything, that it's not complicated. Fear is tension. Notice the tension in your body, replace it with relaxation. Do whatever helps you relax, whatever it is that helps you relax. And I'm not going to be judgmental here. If something helps you relax in a positive way and doesn't leave a side effect, doesn't leave you feeling weird or horrible or strange, or doesn't leave you with some kind of unpleasant residue. If something helps you relax your heart and relax your body, then use it. It's good for you. And get into the habit of going deeper into relaxation every day or every night before you go to bed. Relaxation is our best friend, and it's where we belong. We belong in a state of having a relaxed heart. Our muscles, of course, can't be relaxed all the time because we're using them, but it's our heart which needs to be relaxed. Our heart. We're all starving for truth, divine truth. We're all starving. We're all thirsty, and it's because that our heart is being squeezed, and it can't soak up any of that life-giving water. Let your heart relax. Trust that you are safe, and that water comes back, and our heart is nourished, and thus the rest of our body is nourished. And just allow that relaxation to go deep, 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 deep. And then I believe you'll be enriched in a way which you couldn't even imagine. The divine truths of this world are experienced when we open up. The more we open up, the more we let go of control, and the more we relax, the more we let down our guard and drop our resistance to life and trust life and relax our body. The more we do that, the more divine truth can inform us and inspire us. The more it can tell us. But it comes through allowing it into your body, not here. It doesn't come to here. You can't think about divine truth. You can't understand it mentally. It's a waste of time. You have to let it come into your heart. And for that you need a relaxed heart, a relaxed body, which can be a vehicle for the life-giving water. You could be a vessel of love if you would just drop your resistance, get rid of the tension, get rid of the fear, forget all of the threat which your mind tells you exists. Let go and trust, because you are safe, you are protected, you are provided for. But for you to become aware of that, for you to feel it, you have to let go of the tension, and you have to relax and trust that that is true. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this video. I wish you well, and God bless you.
Enjoyer of joy, singer of songs, with you is where my heart belongs. I give you my all, my care, my love. I from below meet you from above. I dance in your light, I bask in your warmth, I flourish and grow. I give you my form. Nothing more ask I than that which you give, the radiant light which allows me to live. In ecstasy we play, you and I, like the swallow that dances amongst the sky. My song to you I will sing evermore. I'm here just for you forever, be sure. If doubt it should come of my love for you, then listen close now to what you must do. Open your eyes, your ears, look around. See my form and hear my sound. Feel the earth beneath your feet, this sacred ground where you and I meet. Feel the rain which falls from my clouds, feeding all life, making stand proud the plants, the trees, the givers of breath, inspiring with life, keeping from death. Supporting my children is all that I do, dependent on this kiss from you. Of this I am sure you cannot resist, my open space for you to exist. I love you completely, O giver of life, to the husband of beauty, from eternity's wife.